Just gonna do a reading today. I feel like I did one yesterday about like angel aura quartz. It was a very gentle day yesterday. I feel like there's a shift again, and this is what's going on a lot of the time at the moment with the shifting in energy. One moment it's quite gentle, it's quite peaceful, and it's quite sort of like serene, and then the next day the energy's intensifying. This is part of the shifting that's going on at the moment. I feel this today. I've woken up today. Although I feel still in peace and I feel like connected, I feel like there's a bit of an intensity to the energy today. So I've been looking out into this sort of like into the sky and stuff, and I've been seeing some colours around there. One of the colours I've seen today is like a red, and it's like I was looking at that, and then I was drawn to sort of look into ascended masters and the rays around that, because I don't know of a red ascended master ray. But when you look at the archangels and ascended masters, there's a ray that's connected to Lady Nada, and it's also connected to Uriel, the archangel Uriel. So I've been guided to just sort of like discuss that a little bit today, and it's around sort of the Sacred Heart, and it's also around sort of like intention and personal power and inequalities and connecting to those inequalities. Also, Uriel, I always feel like is an archangel of courage, and it's sort of like action. And so the red is very much around that. Red is very much around like action. But for this ruby ray, it's around sort of like the heart and the sacred heart and the inequalities. So it's about sort of like to me, those two energies integrate perfectly, because like Uriel brings this action and this energy, asking you to sort of like act upon these intentions, act upon these qualities, and start to integrate them within your life. And I feel this is very much what's come today. I've also had like an impression of like a great white pyramid today, and that to me is always like a portal, or it's like a portal to like higher frequencies or higher awareness. And it's very much like, so it's connecting us to ourselves, and that expression of ourselves is very much sort of like connects to that. All sort of like pyramids were in Egyptian times, and if you look at like Serapis Bey, who's an ascended master, who's to do with ascension, and the white ray and the white light of ascension, it's very much around sort of like these pyramids were used as a direct sort of doorway to the spiritual realms, or the other realms. In Egyptian time, they would see pyramids as something of like, as you'd go be buried as like the pharaohs and people like that, to move into the next world and the next life. That's very symbolic in this kind of time. But pyramids are also very much sort of like, they're very symbolic. I always see like diamond as like two equilateral triangles, and it's like heaven on earth. So it's very much around that sort of like, I believe the portal, like the sort of pyramid works like that. It's about sort of integrating the two worlds, the physical world and the energetic world. And although we can't see those energetic worlds at the moment, because the vision's not there, as we start to move like through the fourth dimensional reality into like the third dimension, into the fourth, the fifth dimensional reality, these energetic planes exist in complete harmony, but we're not at that state yet. We're not at that frequency. So that explains a lot of why when these impressions that I get, I don't see with clear vision, but I get like I get an impression of an energetic sort of a symbol like the pyramid, or I get an energetic sort of like impression of colours. But I do see the colours like in the sky. I see them physically. Like I've seen these red columns of light, and they were sort of like they're into the trees, or they're coming down into the trees. And I see that quite regularly. And I've seen a spectrum of light today. I saw like red, orange, green, purple, and they were all sort of like together in this spectrum of light today, and it was in the sky. So I know that the energetic frequencies are sort of like intensifying, and as we start to open up to them, we start to sort of realign with those frequencies. It's about integrating and activating as well. This is what's going on a lot of the time, and this is what I feel is happening to me, and it's happening to a lot of people at the moment. And this is why we're having these days, or these energetic spikes as such, where we're going up and down, because as the planet integrates, then we've got to sort of like integrate them within our own light bodies, our own sort of energy fields, and that's part of the process at the moment. And it is difficult, because obviously we've got like this third dimensional chaos of the world and everything that's going on, and we're trying to sort of live in a more spiritual way and integrate that. So it's about sort of dissolving and aligning, and then sort of removing these blockages, removing these yeah, these blocks within our own energy field, within our own auras, as we start to open it up. It's more about becoming light energy, and it's like opening up the heart. Like I was saying about this ruby sort of thing, it's about inequalities. It's like that essence, and it's about expressing those, and it's starting to align with them, and then, you know, and then sort of expressing them in the world. It's about us awakening. The awakening is part of this. Is we awaken to this light, and we awaken our energy centers, and we awaken to our essence, and then we start to walk with those divine qualities, those divine expressions. And this is what these inequalities are about, and this is what this ruby red ray brings. And obviously it connects to Lady Nada, which is, you know, is very much like that Christ consciousness as well. Lady Nada usually brings this pink energy of universal consciousness, universal harmony, and universal union. And it's very much around that at the moment, and it's about us expressing those inequalities. And it's about sort of constantly just trying to remain in them. And this is part of the practice that I'm being given all the time, is to remain in these inner qualities, and remain in the heart, and or remain in the center, and then express them fully outwardly, which is quite difficult because, you know, we get caught up in the confusion and the chaos of our working lives, of politics, of the news, of dramas, families, relationships. But it's trying to remain centered and remain in those qualities and express them fully and be centered in them. And it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of like rebalancing, which is part of this process. It's about rebalancing it all the time. So feel that's very much connected to that today. Again, like I talked about Serapis Bey, and I feel like I've got the vision of Serapis Bey in my head today, who's the Ascended Master, and is very much connected to Luxor in Egypt, and obviously this connects to the pyramids, but it's about sort of like that alignment with that divine qualities, and that divine essence and that energy. And Ascension is about living your life in a more spiritual way. It's applying those spiritual principles, wisdom. It's connecting to the law, the universal laws, and walking and living in that light. And it's like shining your light as well. It's like, you know, when you look at these great temples, they had golden light, golden torches, like beacons of light. And I feel this is very much what's happening. And as it activates and it connects with you, then it opens up your energy. And when you open up your energy, then you start to align with those different realms, those different energetic frequencies that are coming in. But it's also like there's a universal community at the moment that's happening. You know, they talk about ascended beings and angels and universal guides and universal teachers. They're all connected to the earth. We're all interconnected. We're all part of one community, one universe, universal sort of like vibration. And it's about sort of like trying to align with that, because still in this third dimension we're not aligned with that. And those people, those energies and those energetic frequencies that live in the fifth dimension are very much living in harmony with that, and they're here to guide us and work with us to bring us into that fourth dimensional reality and start to move towards the fifth, so we can be aligned and be part of that community again, and not be disconnected, which we have been for many years. And some of this is around sort of like when you go back into like some of the past life incarnations and civilizations around Atlantis and Lemuria. The frequencies are still here, but they're not physical. They're not physical to us, but those frequencies never left. They're still here now, and it's about us awakening to those again, awakening to like a purpose, and living a life in a more spiritual way. When you start to practically use these inequalities, you can dissolve stress, you can dissolve anxiety, you can dissolve negative thoughts, you can align, you can raise your vibration, you can raise positive thought, affirmations, the law of attraction, the law of frequency, the law of vibration, the law of oneness. So although I'm talking about something in an energetic world, it can be used in a very practical way. Breathing in that light, that energy, and sort of harmonizing and raising your own frequency, raising your own energy, so you feel more energetic in your physical body, that you have more energy, you have more peace, you have more presence, and you're calmer as well. So it's not just about, I mean, I'm talking about this in a very spiritual way, but that's how it's given to me, but it's also how it's applied in a very practical way. And this is part of what the spiritual integration is about, that we start to live and connect and align with those energetic worlds and those energetic frequencies, so we can start to live our lives in a more practical way, but in a more spiritual way. So when things come, we dissolve them, because we have the tools and we have those qualities within ourselves to raise our vibration above things, dissolve them, and then move through them, so they don't become caught up in our energy, and our energy fields become clearer. And as they become more clearer, they become more aligned with the higher energy frequencies, the universal guides, the angelic realms. And this is part of the process. This is part of the frequency that we're going through, and this is what this great pyramid brings: ascension, and connects to that again. Um, you know, also I'm sure when I read that about the ruby ray, it talked about Almora in the Archangel and Ruby Rays. It talked about Almora being connected to that red ray, even though he's talked about it being blue, or not he, the energy's talked about being blue. I have to stop saying he. It's I feel like I'm corrected every time I say that. It's an energy. It's not a he. That they don't have a gender. They're a frequency. They're a vibration, and they bring energy. They bring energy to us. It's not about like male and female. That they don't, in the spirit world. It's not about that. It's about having a frequency and energy. So I sort of like, I feel like I get I'm corrected on that very many times when I use the word he. I have to correct it straight away. I say he because most sort of pictures that you see, Almora appears as this he has like a golden turban, he has this long black beard, you know, and it appears like this powerful, this strong energy, but it's like it's drawn as a male. So that's why I think sometimes I sort of like that physical part of my mind just comes in and just says he, when it's not actually that. So yeah, it's about raising those frequencies, dissolving. I mean, as I start to talk about this, and I feel like I activate and dissolve the energies, and I feel my energy frequencies raised as I do these talks and these insights, my body becomes much lighter. It becomes a lot brighter. Everything becomes sort of illuminated, and this is part of the process. Is that we need to illuminate. And become brighter in energy and lighter in our frequency. And when we do that, then we start to align, because the lighter the frequency, the higher it vibrates, and it also then vibrates and connects in with like the higher frequency, the universal frequencies, and that's when we start to open up our energy. But that's also when the guides and the angels and these ascended masters can step in, because we're not caught up in that physical reality, that physical third dimensional, which they do not attune to. They do not attune to that, because attuning to that is you know, they're not on that frequency. They don't hold that dense frequency. We do. So it's very much around that, and as we raise it, I see like I also see like a spiral, or like a, I don't know if it's a spiral, but you know, when you see like a sandstorm going up like that, I see that. So that to me is very symbolic of like an energy, like this whirling energy that you know lifts your energy. It opens up your energy centers. It opens up your kundalini. It opens up your aura and your energy frequency, so you can start to align and connect. And I'm seeing that in my mind's eye as I start to sort of like connect into this. There's a lot in this energy today. It's very high, and it's very sort of it's a very high frequency that brings a lot of insight, brings a lot of knowledge, brings a lot of wisdom, but it connects you to your essence. And this is what the point of is. Our essence is luminous, and it's of light, and it connects to all things. And this is the point of the awakening, is that we awaken to that. And when we can hold that essence and that light in our energy centers, we become lighter. We become more aligned with the spirit world. We become more aligned with the spiritual realities and realms. And this is the purpose of us awakening. So we hold that vibration. And again, this is the key part of the practical application of it at the moment. So those higher frequencies will not connect to the third dimensional reality, because they're not from there. So it's about, this is the part of it. I feel like this is the integration that we have to do. So if we're like activating and we're aligning with those higher frequencies, and then we go back to the third dimension, they dissolve. Or they don't dissolve, they just like they dissolve. I don't know how to explain it, but they just like, because they don't align with that. if we're caught in that third dimension, in that physicality again, they just dissolve. And it's about us holding that frequency so we raise above that third dimension. And that's how we move to the fourth dimension. As we start to use and apply these spiritual principles, that third dimensional reality will sort of dissolve, and then you'll move into the fourth dimension, and then the higher dimensions again. And that's the purpose of what we're here for. We do walk a physical life, definitely walk a physical life, but we can be in this physical body, in this physical incarnation, and hold a fourth dimensional frequency. And that's what I feel this shifting's about, and this is what we're being asked to do. And this is where this pyramid, because this pyramid works as a gateway and a doorway, and it always has done. Pyramids and have always been these doorways and gateways, but like the fact it's white, this brings this higher frequency, this higher vibration. It amplifies energy, it aligns us with the source and the essence of who we are. So sit there and talk about this, and now sort of I'm getting like there's like a white light being, or a white being behind me. He doesn't say anything, but he just stands there dressed in white with long hair, white beard. So again, it's like a very high vibrational frequency. But this is a guide. This is a guide that's stepping in. He doesn't tell me who he is or what he is. It feels very much like, you know, when you talk about Melchizedek, who's this guy, this order. He appears with these really bright blue eyes. So I'm seeing like a bright blue eye. So I think it's connected to like Melchizedek. I want to talk about that. You know, this order of Melchizedek, or this universal teacher, and I want to talk about that. And this is what I feel some of these frequencies are happening. The ascended masters, the angelics, the archangels, all spiritual beings work in harmony with each other. This is one of the things as well. We're working with spirituality. You have many guides that work with you at many times. Some people have one guide that they work with all the time, and you know, but all these guides are working for harmony for all of us. So that there isn't like you talk to one and all their frequencies are sort of like integrating and molding together to bring harmony to the planet and awaken us all. So it's not like, oh, you just talk to Archangel, you talk to many different guides, and you're not affected. What's the word I'm looking for? But the energy is sort of integrated from these many different teachers, these many different guides, because they're all working for the same purpose, which is us to be connected again and be in this one vibration of unity and harmony. And it's to awaken us, because we're all part of the same light, and it's about us coming back to that. So these guys, these universal teachers, work in harmony with each other, and it's not that you just speak to the archangels or you speak to Ascended Master. You can speak to many of them. However, those frequencies will align with you. You know, all those frequencies will work, and you can work with just angels. You can just work with Ascended Masters, but they tend to work in harmony together. There's no separation. There's no disconnection in their reality, in their realms. So for us, you know, we separate things out, and they don't work in that way. They work all as one. Everything is one. There's no separation. So it's it's connecting into that. So wherever the energy or wherever the information comes from, it can come from many different sources. So open yourself up to many different sources, and open yourself up to the essence in many different ways. I feel that the energy is very. I keep getting like white energy today. I feel like my hands usually glow gold in my minor chakras, but I feel like I have a white energy with me today. The energy again is very peaceful. It brings a lot of serenity. It's very calm. It's very like, it's infinite. It's knowledgeable. It's not at all boom. You know, I said about intensity, but as I've gone through this energy and I've aligned with this essence energy, it's very calm. It's very gentle. It's very quiet, but it's very strong, and it's very pure. It brings a pureness to it. There's a pureness of energy to it. So it's a very different vibration. Some of the vibrations I'm feeling at the moment are very different vibrations. I keep feeling like I'm being slowed down. And when I'm being slowed down, it's that in that moment of being slowing down, it is where that connection happens, where that spark and that essence sort of like is activated. And I feel like we're all being brought down to that. And it's like it very much is in the centre, but we're being slowed down. I know I'm feeling that at the moment. I'm being slowed down, and the energy is very gentle. It's very nurturing. It's very pure. It's very sort of Yeah, it's an infinite power that brings this higher vibration, but higher doesn't always mean quicker. Higher doesn't always mean faster. It brings a peace, a presence with it, and that's what I feel I'm feeling. This essence is feeling this energy of presence, being here and being connected and being aligned. And this is what some of it is about today. And I just wanted to share a few sort of like, a few sort of feelings today, because I'm also seeing a golden key, and any kind of key unlocks a doorway, but it also unlocks again, opens. So it's open like universal keys, universal doorways, universal sort of insight, universal consciousness, universal wisdom. And again, I know that I think this is connecting to Melchizedek again, because it like you also see it. I've seen him in white there, but I've just seen a deep, rich purple as well. And I always feel that's part of like the universal order of things, a universal teacher. And I feel this connects to Melchizedek again. And this is what's being brought through. This like he was a priest, like a high priest of Atlantis, or a high priest of many different incarnations, and it's very much like this energy brings, but it brings great wisdom, great knowledge, great insight, but it also brings great strength, and it brings a calmness and serenity, that you can move through things. It supports you, you're secure, and it brings you through this, but it also opens up this universal wisdom. And this is some of the portals and the gateways that we're opening up today. There's a lot going on today. There is a lot going on today, but it's a nice feeling to feel like there's a lot of intense energy going on there, but you feel supported, you feel protected, which is what I feel at the moment, and I feel calm and I feel at peace. And peace seems to be the main thing that they're bringing through at the moment. There's a peace. I'm feeling this very deeply within my essence, a peace that they're bringing, and this is what's needed. Again, this has got to be connected as well to like, it's connected to the universal guides, but it's also connected to the angelic realms, because the angelic realms always bring that peace, that harmony, that unity, and this is what this time's about. Things just keep flowing. I'm seeing a big peach colour now, I'm seeing a light blue colour, and I'm seeing a white colour. And this peachy colour again is universal compassion, universal love, universal union. It's a high frequency. I need to look into this colour more, because I see it quite regularly, but it's a new sort of ascended colour that comes through. I'll have a look, because I know there's 11 or 12 rays of ascended masters, and they direct me. I use the internet all the time, because I get directed to something. And how it works with me is I get given an impression, and then I build the energy from that impression, from that picture, from that feeling. And this is because I'm a clairsentient. I see clairvoyantly. I see things in the sky and the energy, but I see energy in that way. I see energy physically, because it illuminates, and it's like it's purple, and it's like red, it's green, it's orange. But I also see a lot in my mind's eye. As I'm seeing this now, I've got luminous colours in my head. I've got like really this bright sort of pinky sort of like, it's hard to explain these colours, because they're so luminous and they're so vibrant when they come into your head. But it's like a really luminous purple, a luminous blue, and there's like this luminous pinky sort of colour, but I can't explain it. It's not a physical colour I can explain. And white again is integrated into that, and they all go into like into the same sort of, they're all integrated, they're all in the same, they're integrated, and they're blended into, that's the word, they're blended in together. And that's what I feel is going on. And this is why I was talking about these ascended masters and these guides and the angelic guides and your guides. They all blend together to bring this one vibration, this one harmony vibration, and it's about us aligning with that, and we're part of that. You're not disconnected, and this is the awakening. It's saying to you, your essence is part of that. You are part of them, and they're part of you, and you're part of the source. You're not disconnected. You're very much part of them. And as we move these high vibrations, these high frequencies, you'll realise these energetic qualities that they have. You have some of them. You have those abilities and gifts, but you cannot awaken to them until we move higher in our vibration, our frequency. And this is what this time's about. And this is what this moment's about. It's about remembering. Remembering in this moment, in this time. And this is what we're being drawn to. And like I said about the practical things, when you raise your vibration and you work on a fourth dimensional reality frequency, you don't get connected to the anger and the fear and all that. You just feel secure, you feel connected, you feel protected, and that's what a lot of people want to feel at this time. but it's about awakening to that, and you can use it to dissolve frequencies, negativity. You can clear your own energy. Again, I talked about yesterday, crystals hold the energetic essence vibration. You know, that they're part of the, you know, that they are like us. They are born from that divine essence as we are. And when you use a crystal, it reminds you of that. It reminds you, it awakens you to it. And this is what all of our time is about. This is what we're all here for, is to awaken and to remember, and to move to those frequencies, but to also to help each other remember, help each other heal, help each other connect, help each other align. You know, we're a collective, we're not a singular. And the singular again is this, the 3D reality, as the collective is the fourth and the fifth and the other realities. They don't know disconnection. They don't know anything but collective. You know, and everything's done for the greater good. Everything's done for harmony and balance. And this is what the guides work on. And this is what we need to be working towards. Anyway, that's the reading for today. I can go on for I feel like I could talk for like 30, 40 minutes today, but I'm not going to, because it's a lot of information.